Alright, next video. Assembly of the double gearbox, left-right independent 4-speed Tamiya transmission. I've already pulled the motors out of this for my other bulldozer, but I have two new motors coming for this one. Because I had to, I burned up one in my current bulldozer. So I had to get some new motors, and the ones that I had ordered were the wrong ones. This is a really simple kit. I don't know if I'm going to cover the entire assembly of it. It's pretty simple, but it's kind of time consuming. Let's see how this goes. So first off, you want your instructions. There's a specific gear ratio that you want for this build, because depending on what gear ratio you use, the transmission output will be in different places. If you look at this picture, it comes out in the front one. Well, we want it to come out in this back one, which means there's certain there's 4 different gear ratios that you can use with this kit. And you want gear ratio C, which is 114.7 to 1 at 115 RPM. I would prefer to use the slower one, but it puts the output shaft at the further, it puts it in the front hole and not the back bearing spot. So we'll be going with ratio C, and that is the top one on this side. All the rest of it you can ignore. This one spot will show you how to assemble the transmission. So first off, we need to separate our parts tree. The transmission halves. Here's the other half. This little piece here holds the 2 motors together. And this is the center piece of the transmission. And that is all the pieces on the parts tree. We got 2 bags of gears. One bag is for the left side, one bag is for the right side. We also have a bag with 2 hex shafts, a little Allen wrench, 2 square or hex lock rings, 2 pins, 2 spacers, and another bag full of parts and little bushings. We'll just dump all those out right here. Okay, so first off, we need to take our transmission center. We want it facing like this, with these 2 up, not down. Take these little eyelets, they drop down into the holes for bushings. Take 2 of those, and we'll need one of these hex shafts, one of these square retainers, and a set screw. Let's put that on there. I want that to be 16 millimeters in. Got to grab my ruler, my magnetic Cow RC pit mat ruler that has both metric and fractional. It's actually kind of amazing how much I use this. So we want this 16 millimeters from the end. Now is that, yeah, that is about 16 millimeters. We'll do both just because. There's a set screw for that one. Assemble this side and to make them exactly the same. Loosen this set screw a little bit. Take the two halves, push them till they're the same spot. Tighten the set screw. Easy as that. So this shaft, you need to take your gear bag for one side, and you will need the hex shaft with a blue gear facing this way. We need a yellow gear with the two dimples, and it has a hex piece or a hex shaped spot to go on the hex gear, and it's got a notch cut out for where the set screw goes, which is very handy because you can adjust, you can retighten your set screw after you put it together. And then you'll take that and insert it into that bushing, which does not fit right. Are there different size bushings? No, that fits right. I need this spacer. Oh, dropped it again. Hold this a little different. We want it in this spot. And we want this pin with the other gear. This one's got teeth on the sides, or on the face of it, and not on the edge. And then little gear there. We want that one on the shaft facing out, with one of the blue ones facing the same way, and one of these, the long yellow bushing, facing this way. And you want to put it together like that. And that one drops down in here and goes together something like that. Next, we need transmission side, and two more of these little eyelets. We'll put them on the shaft, and this goes down on here, like that. And that's one side of the gearbox. The motor will go in here. They just pop into the plastic housing. There's no screws that attach them. Trim these little pieces of the casting of the plastic off, just so it looks a little better. And I'll do the other side and we'll be right back. So we've got the transmission halves together. We've got to put some screws in it. So we need a long screw there. Hold on. Nope. We need the short one there, long one there, long one there, and a short one there. You will also need a Phillips screwdriver, which I did not bring in here. A couple of them are cut for a flathead. I need to grab a Phillips screwdriver. There we go, one right there. So we'll put these screws in. These transmissions are super simple. I've been holding up just fine for what I've been using them for. Wait a second. Okay, so I guess I don't put a screw on the spot. Okay, I take that back. Put the one screw in there. And one screw in there. And you also put a screw in, we'll go this side. Also want a long screw in here and a long one here. So the open side will be facing up when it's in the bulldozer. This side will be facing down. We need these bottom holes to be open for mounting the transmission in the bulldozer. So we'll want the top one on this side and the bottom one in the back. So get those in there. And then there's little tiny gears that push on to the transmission or onto the motor and drives the transmission. So you'll notice you got extra parts. That's okay. They give you extra parts because there's 4 different gear ratios you can use. I don't need either of these short screws. I don't need any of the rest of this stuff. Well, I do need these 2 little gears and this. The rest of the stuff we don't need. We'll just shove it to the side for the moment. Get rid of the staple. Alright, so we need to modify this slightly. You want to take your razor knife or Dremel, you can do those with a Dremel too, and cut these 2 mounting tabs off. I prefer to just use a razor knife. It's easy enough to cut little plastic mounts off. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just want them to be gone. We'll do the other side. Try to get your fingers in a place where you're not going to get cut. Trying to keep my work in the middle of the screen. It's hard to cut something with a knife and look into the viewfinder of the camera at the same time. And that's good enough. That's basically your transmission. Next video, we'll be continuing to cut out the floor. If you notice how nicely that fits in there. The next job is to cut out the floor and fit the transmission. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and comment if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.